Hey Summit County, whether you already own your dream home here or you're still looking to find that perfect property in Summit County, you probably have a couple of questions like, what in the world happened in the 2022 real estate market around Summit County? And perhaps more importantly, what do you predict for 2023 as it pertains to prices, mortgage interest rates, and inventory? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to answer all of those questions and more. How you doing? It's Pete Deininger. I'm owner and team lead at the Breck Life Group right here in Breckenridge. And in this video, I'm going to share with you my 3 key takeaways from the 2022 Summit County real estate market. But before we get started, we have a ton of people reaching out to us with questions about both buying and selling real estate here in Summit County. So if you've got questions, please don't hesitate. Give us a call, send a text, send an email. We are happy to be your guide and share with you some of the nuances of the real estate market. Now let's get started and take a look at my 3 key takeaways from the Summit County real estate market in 2022. Okay, we're going to look at this from a couple of different angles. So my first key takeaway pertains to the calendar year 2022, a year-over-year comparison with the prior year 2021. In 2022, both the number of closed transactions and the total dollar volume resulting from those transactions were down pretty significantly, 36% and 28% respectively. Now we know simple math would say that if both fell by 36%, that would say that the average price for the year remained stable. But because the dollar volume fell at a smaller percentage than did the number of transactions, the average sales price for all property types across Summit County actually increased by 14% for the year. Now, if we were looking at this on the macro level, that might suggest that the county real estate market remains strong. But there are some recent trends that may suggest otherwise. And that brings me to my takeaway number 2. Okay, the second takeaway, as we digest this on a smaller scale, if we just look at the fourth quarter of 2022 compared to that same time period in 2021, we will see that the number of transactions and the dollar volume both fell by 41%. Now, as we discussed when looking at the year over year, if they fall by the same amount, that would suggest that prices are flat. And that is exactly what we saw. The average sales price for all Summit County properties for just the fourth quarter were exactly the same as the prior year. Now, take into consideration that the third quarter also saw pretty flat prices, and this suggests that we are definitely seeing a cooling trend in the market. Okay, the third key takeaway, surprisingly, with the number of transactions falling so significantly, we did not see a great increase in the days on market or the time that it takes for a property to sell. For all property types in Summit County, the average days on market or time it takes to sell was 27 days for calendar year 2022. And that is actually a 4% reduction compared to the prior year. That tells me that Summit County remains a very, very high demand place, and it's obvious this is an incredible community. Inventory remains low, and so properly priced and properly marketed properties are still selling quickly. Okay, what are my 2023 predictions for the Summit County real estate market? Well, first of all, many economists are predicting that, like the last 6 or 7 weeks with a slight floating down in mortgage interest rates, we're going to continue to see that through the first half of the year. It's anticipated that we will see interest rates floating down so that by the end of the second quarter, or maybe early into the second half of the year, we may see a return of mortgage interest rates to about the mid 5% range. For many buyers, that's going to be a pretty significant reduction in their monthly payments based on the same mortgage amount. And our inventory is likely to remain low, so as buyers return to the market, we're going to see properties selling pretty quickly as buyer demand continues to increase. Chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, Lawrence Yun, also released a report stating that nationwide buyer demand is far outpacing supply. And we're still seeing that here in Summit County, as the total number of available properties is far fewer than we've seen on average for many, many years. So what does this mean for you? We may not see that sharp decline in prices that many were forecasting 6 months ago or so. Buyer demand remains really strong, and I expect we're going to see an increase in the total number of sales around Summit County compared to what we saw in 2022. Now, you may have specific questions about your situation, so please reach out. Call, text, or email us with any questions about buying or selling here in Summit and Park County. We'll see you in the next video.